All right, welcome to Monday of week 7 of our 8-week class. We are in the final countdown for sure now, right? Okay, sort of pedal to the metal this week as you're drafting and giving feedback on other people's writing. The bulk of your work is really going to be done outside of the turn-in boxes and discussion boards. That part is probably going to be the minor part of your course load this week as you really work to get your paper almost completely drafted this week would be my encouragement to you. In the big picture scheme of things, the paper is due Wednesday of next week. Generally, we have Sunday deadlines, but next week's is Wednesday because of the turnaround time I'm giving myself in order to get your grades turned in by when the college says they need to be turned in. So what are you doing this week? You are drafting your paper. Do check your proposal feedback that I just gave you because some of you might need to redirection your paper a bit. Others of you are straight on the money and just go forth, okay? So I did give you feedback on those proposals already, and those are all in your grade book. Or not in your grade book, in your Dropbox for the assignment. Okay, for your peer edit, respond to 2 other people and put a portion or all of your draft out there and ask for a specific question that you would like answered or something specific that you would like other students to look at. I really think that helps to focus the feedbacks. And if you don't have something specific in mind, say that. Say, I don't have anything specific in mind, but I just need some feedback over do you get what I'm saying? Here's what I'm trying to say. Is that clear? Maybe it would be a good generic question. Do make your feedback to other students critical in a good way. Do help them. Don't worry about being overly particular because I'm going to be particular, as you know. So do give that good feedback. In the course content, some people were confused by the wording where I said use the rubric to help give feedback. You don't have to give them the rubric, but maybe as you're looking at somebody else's draft, you have that rubric in front of you so that you can give comments and say, well, on this part of the rubric, I think maybe you need, because it's worded this way, it looks like you might need more support for your ideas or something like that. Or I'm not sure of your purpose, and that's a big part of the rubric. Speaking of purpose, the biggest thing that can go wrong on this paper is that you would not become persuasive, you become informative instead. So the one way to try this is to make sure that throughout the paper, your paper is staying focused on your thesis and that your thesis in and of itself is definitely taking a stance. None of this middle of the road stuff, none of this, well, there's different ways of looking at this. I want you to take a stance. So if I am, right now in our area with all the drought and so forth, there's been some advisories for use of water, and maybe I could make an argument that just in general, the way that we water lawns and the way that we use water is wasteful in suburban America, okay? What I'm going to do is at some point I'm probably going to have to tell you a little bit of background on water sources and maybe the worldwide water crisis. I think somebody's actually touching on this in one of their papers. As I'm discussing that, I want to frame it in the context of my argument. So I'm going to lead that paragraph on water sources by saying, part of the problem with the way we waste water is our limited water resources. And then I will explain the limited water resources through the lens of my topic so that I'm constantly keeping back on track with that persuasive edge. Okay, along with this then, looking at your final draft, if you'll notice in the original syllabus, there is some talk of Turnitin.com. I've been having trouble with my Turnitin.com account, I'll be really honest with you. I'm going to send you what I set it up as in terms of username and password. You can let me know if it's not working or if it is, and we'll go from there. I have another professor trying to check it out for me as well to see if he can get into my account. For some reason, I don't know, it must be a user error, like me. But I set it up under my home email, and I don't know if that's the problem. I don't think it should be. But I'll send you the username, the password ID, the ID and the password for the account. If you're having trouble with it, let me know, but don't spend hours trying to figure it out because that's not good use of your time and I don't want to waste your time in this. I'm doing my part to figure it out. I just haven't heard back yet. Okay, that's all we have for this week. If you have questions at any angle on your paper, please, or any aspect of your paper, please go ahead and email me. I'll be glad to help you out as much as I can, and have a great week of writing. Oh, I was going to mention this before and I totally forgot. Make sure that you're keeping personal pronouns out of this paper. This paper needs to be on the very formal academic level because it's the paper that goes into your portfolio for the college. So this is the formal paper of the whole set. And so rework your framework on that and make sure it's a formal sounding paper. And as you're writing, don't forget to cite as you write. Don't go back and do that as an afterthought. That's just a setup for plagiarism disaster. Have a good week. Bye-bye.